Hello everyone, Nikhil this side from Coding Beam. So in this video we are going to learn about the modules, the import and export statements in the JavaScript ES6. So what are the modules? So modules are used to import and export some variables, some function or functionalities from different JavaScript files, and we can use some functionalities of other JavaScript files by using import and export into the ES6. But why do we need the modules? So we do not have to recreate the features again and again into every file, so that's why we need the modules. And to import the functionalities of different files to the main file, so we need the modules in the JavaScript, and to make a good quality code we need the modules. So to implement the modules we need to configure the Visual Studio Code, and now we need to go to the Visual Studio Code, and here we need to go to the terminal tab, and then we have to select the new terminal, and then we have to go to the terminal, and then we have to initialize a new repository there, and then for that I need the npm init command for that. So if I will now run this npm init command, then there will be some questions. So then if I will now maximize it, and if I will now make it a little bit bigger, so then you will see package name, and now it is a sample. I will give it a name to the sample, and then I will hit enter again, enter again, enter again, enter again, and then we have to select the enter commands every time. Enter, 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 and then you will see, is this okay? Yes, and then we have to hit enter. And after this, you will see in the directories there will be the package.json file, and then after the file after the main thing we have to type here the type, and then it will be the module. So now we have configured the VS Code. So if I need to go to the index.js file, and if I will now console.log, then it will be the hello world. Then if I will now run this command inside the terminal tab, then I need to go to the terminal and then select a new terminal, and then there will be node index.js. So if I will now run, then you will be seeing hello world will be there in the console window. So these are about the configuring it. So now to use the import and export in the JavaScript, we have to go to the different file, like we are in the index.js file, and this is the main file. So now we need to go to the different file, like we have a demo.js file. So I need to go in it, and now create a new export statements, like if there is a variable like let message equals to like hello. So if I need to use this variable inside the main file, so I need to use an export behind it, like export. Then if I will now run, then you will see in the index.js we need to import this file, like import, and this will be the name like message, and then from demo after the .js. So if I will now run this, then it will be imported in my index.js file. So if I will now console.log the message, then you will be seeing in the terminal window that it will be the hello in the terminal window. So if I will now run this again, then you will see hello in the console window. So this is the import and export in the JavaScript, and this was the named import in the JavaScript. So we can export multiple statements here by the named import. So export, and if I need to export a function, then I need to export the function, and it is a display, and then after this we have to console.log here, like function display called. So if I will now run this, then you will see, and if I will now go to the main.js file, like index.js file, and if I will now import this function from that, like import, the name will be the same, like the display from the slash and then demo.js. So if I will now run this function now, like the display, then you will see actually there is an error, I think. So the display is there. I haven't console.logged anything here, so I will console.log like the function display ran. So if I will now go to the index.js file, and if I will now run this function here, so after this, if I will now run this code, then you will see function display ran now. So these are about the named export in the JavaScript. So, and we need to use like important. We need to use same name of variables or functions to use named export. So we need to use the same name of variables and the functions to use the name export in the JavaScript. So if I will now see the default export. So for the default export, we have to use the default here. Like if I need a function like default function export, then I need to use the default keyword here, like the default, and then the function name like function. So then after this, it will be the function. Actually the function name should be there like get display or get details. So after this, if I will now console.log that this is default function. So if I will now save and if I will now import this function, and second important thing for the default export, we don't need to use the same name. Like if I need to use here the same name, like I need like the import, and we can directly name this like there will be the get details from the demo.js file, like this demo file. And if I will now run this get details function, accept this display and accept this console.log, then you will see like the get details. And if I will now run this, then you will see in the console window, then you will see the default function will run. So this is the default function. So these are about the default exports in the JavaScript. And now if I will use here the different name, like there will be the func only, there will be the func. So if I will now run this func here from here, accept this get details, it will be the func, then you will see there will be the same output now, because this is the default function. So why? Because we don't have to recreate the features again and again, and to import the functionality of one file to another into main file, and to make a good quality code, we need the modules in the JavaScript. So these are about the modules in the JavaScript. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you will like the video, and guys please subscribe to our channel if you are new.